questions on two topics.
Sure.
First, on the submersible, when did the conversations between the Navy and the Coast Guard begin to figure out what assets to send? Because we're now 2 days later, and it seems like the clock is very much ticking here. Why the delay there? And then the other question on the Senator Tuberville holds. Have you asked or urged members of the Senate to go, at least in some cases, like the nomination for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, simply to go for a floor vote in that and just bypass Tuberville in that case?
So on the first one, I believe conversations between the Navy and Coast Guard began this weekend. Again, the Coast Guard is in charge of this mission. So when they request support or help in the assistance of search and rescue, that is what we are doing, that's what we're providing. But for when those conversations began, I believe they began this weekend. In terms of Senator Tuberville and the holds specifically, that is more of a question that is really on Senate procedure, and we can go down a very long path on how Senate procedure works. Not that I particularly want to do that, but that is really a question for the Senate and how they decide to conduct their business. What we know, yes, the chairman is one of those holds. It is very important that we have a seated, confirmed chairman in the position when Chairman Milley leaves, but there are so many other positions that also are important and require Senate confirmation. We know that these holds are going to have a ripple effect throughout the department, and we're talking about, we have 852 general and flag officers, 650 that are up for confirmation just by the end of the year. I think Senator Tuberville certainly understands the importance of having a team, a cohesive team together to be able to confront the challenges, the day-to-day challenges that this building faces. And so we would hope and we would urge that he lift his hold.
But has there been any discussions with the Senate or the administration on at least in the case of the top officer, moving his to a floor vote and bypassing Tuberville? Sure, the hold is on him, but at least in the case of the top officer, you're 2-3 months away from having an acting.
Yeah.
Is there consideration or discussion around going to the floor for a vote on that?
Well, I'm not going to get into private conversations between our office and senators, but what I will say is that we are urging the hold to be lifted. Blanket, the hold to be lifted on all of our general and flag officers.